So how to check the hard disk and OS related troubleshooting also we have done. So that is from starting. So we have seen about what is a processor, how to check system configuration, what is 32-bit, what is 64-bit, what about your RAM and ROM differences, RAM related troubleshooting, BIOS and BIOS settings we discussed. Okay, what is a BIOS battery, what is motherboard, what are the connectors, what are the different storage devices, and difference between hard disk and SSDs, and about boot processing, issues at boot processing, how you check the issues, how to understand is a post related kind of stuff. Okay, and also we discuss about a system is slow, then what you can able to do it. About a service management, also we discussed. Okay. BSOD, we didn't discuss. So, and we in middle we discussed about Outlook, and we discussed about a operating system. Okay. So we discussed about a device drivers. Okay. And then we started discussing about a networking related topics. So better know what you have learned in the training. That is also an important part. That's what I told. So yeah, we discussed about a basic hardware, about what is CPU, what is RAM and ROM, about your motherboard, about storage. Okay. So about hard disk and SSDs differences. That is we discussed mainly. And also we discussed about boot processing, of course, BIOS settings, okay, BIOS batteries. Discuss CPU overheating, RAM related issues, okay, disk failure kind of stuff issue. System is slow, okay, slow system kind of stuff. So we discuss that one also. Service management. If you want, we'll do that separate one day. If we once completed everything, we want better to read once, guys, to understand. It is first of all important is better to read, so then you will get it out. Okay. Service management. How to manage services, like what is automatic, what is manual, that services also we discussed. And we discussed about Outlook. Okay. So what is a Outlook? Outlook is a mail client application. We can send and receive mails using Outlook. And we use mainly three protocols, SMTP, POP3, and IMAP to communicate in the mail communication. Okay, that is also we discussed. Okay, so we see that one. So next, application related issues. Okay, so we discussed about application related issues related to the Outlook kind of stuff. Okay, Outlook related issues and application. And also we discussed about a operating system. So what is an operating system and the different types of operating systems, and what is the difference between Windows and Linux operating system, which operating system we use. Okay. Applications related issue. If application is crashed in our operating system, so what you can able to do it. Okay. So what is the uninstallations, installations kind of stuff. We discussed that one. Next, we discussed about a networking. Basics are essential, you can say. So we discussed about a different topologies in network. Okay, topologies like a bus topology, star topology, ring topology kind of stuff, and types of network like a LAN, what is CAN, what is MAN, what is WAN kind of stuff. Okay, so that is we also discuss. And we discussed about a SOH, means how simple network setup is there, what are the devices we use, the network, what are the cables we use in the network, okay, hub we use it, switch routers, modems, what is their functionalities, hub and switches, differences, okay, that will be discussed. Cables, different cables we use, the cables kind of stuff also we discussed. As you remember, another one is IP address, we discussed. Okay. So IP address, that too IPv4, and how IPv4 is look like, what is the classes, what is the subnet mask, how subnet mask divide our IP address into network and host portions, how to get a network ID, that is also we discussed. Next we discussed about a OSL layer, that is our last class is the OSL layer part. How to, what is the OSL layers and protocols and port number. Protocols and port number. So these are the things we discussed in a network. Some of the commands like what is ping command, what is trace RT command, what is IP config command, that is also we discussed. Okay. So what is DHCP, what is DNS kind of stuff also we discussed. Okay, so what are the topics still left over? That is about some topics. Yeah, I said also covered a service desk, right? So what is a service desk? What is an organization, IT organization? What are the different departments? Okay, and what is a ticket? What is incident type of ticket? What is ticket? I'm only a few points I'm writing, but I'm telling them what is ticket, what is incident ticket, what is service ticket, what is alert. Okay. And I think you already told about um, SLA. What is a SLA? What is response time? What is a resolution time? Ticket types like a P1 ticket, P2 ticket. Okay, maybe the wording is little different from one organization or that organization, high level, very high level kind of stuff. So that is ticketing types levels. Okay. So levels, I think this as a remember is a big level because to also learn the pattern of teaching in teaching of a service desk. Okay, so yeah. So so what are the remaining stuff we will going to, we must know. That is one is like a what is work group and domain concept. What is work group and domain concept? What is active directory concept here? And next one, what is a DHCP server? How it is works? And what is a DNS server? How it is works? System, usually Windows basic administration parts are there. Okay, Windows admin kind of stuff, not a Windows server. It is Windows 10 admins are there. So for this part, I put a beautiful name called servers and services. Okay. So another one is what is cloud? What is Office 365? What is a VPN? I forget this. Okay. Otherwise, I will keep it one day, one more day. I will give it for a sir. If in case if I give these two topics to sir, then it is very good. Okay. And anyway, so overall troubleshooting is important, guys. Because most of the thing nowadays, there are also asking about a hardware and network related troubleshooting, hardware related, network related troubleshooting. First of all, put a questions about hardware and networking questions in one side. So then you will understand what is the these questions and answers we can able to answer it. Some answers you can able to tell in a troubleshooting method manner. That is better way to tell an answer. Okay. This class on Monday, I will try to take it freshly. I try to go with this topic today, and then I will go for a Windows 10 topic. Okay. So some of settings like what is the disk management and all. I'll keep it this thing as the last one because these are the major topics. Okay. So what we discussed first, we discussed about a completed topic. We discussed about the pending topics. So we will go into see this servers and services part. Awesome. Guys, ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The first part, I'm going to talk about what is the server and what is the service. My Google Slides. Okay. What is the server? What is the service? What is the services? So what is exactly a peer-to-peer kind of connection? What is the peer-to-peer? Then what is the server? Guys, I have a computer. My computer is a desktop computer, right? So I have a laptop that is my desktop. Someone send the messages. Madhu joined. Okay.
Yes, sir. I have joined a few minutes late.
Okay. Is anybody joined? Durga, Prabhas, Nandini, Sai Pooja, and Stuti. Okay. So what can I able to do it in my desktop? So I install an application. I have a web browser, so I can able to access websites. I connected it to internet. Okay. So I can play games. I can work with a different kind of applications. The desktop is a user's desktop. It is right. So what I'm going to do is I will try to do that one. So I'm not providing any service to anyone. I'm not giving anything to anyone. So simply I'm accessing from different resources, right? I'm accessing a email. I'm accessing websites. I'm playing games. I'm playing with some applications. Okay. I do PPT. I do documentation. I do programming. Okay. So that's what my desktop system is doing. So that is your simple desktop system. Okay. Next. In general, for if you are in an organization, or maybe you are in a home, or maybe if you are in a internet center, there is multiple computers, multiple devices. So in generally, you are having one single system, that is a single entity I am talking. Next is if you are in a home, if you are in a small office, if you are in an internet center, there is a limited number of computers, like a 10 computers, maybe a 20 computers max. Okay. So what if these are all individual desktops on, individual laptops or desktops on. So for example, you are user here, this is Madhu system, and he log into his account and he's going to work on this system. Okay. This is, I need another name, so simple, Akash. So why I'm getting new small names? Shiva is there, it's just like this. Okay. Shiva is logged into another PC. Puja is not there. Shruti, yeah. Manisha is there. Afrid also small name. Okay. So these are people logged into their system. This is their system. Okay. It is their system. So there is a data in Madhu system because these systems are connected in the network. Here it is a data, and he shared this data. He shared the data, so Shiva can able to access the data. Okay, Shiva accessing the data, communicating. They are communicating by sharing the information or sharing the resources because they are in the network, so they can able to do it. For example, Afri, the system is connected to a printer. From Afri PC, I share the printer. So, for example, a Madhu need to access the printer. Madhu need to access the printer, so he can able to access to through Afrit. So, so resources sharing. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is sharing of information, sharing of resources is possible. Mutual communication, so they can send instant messages within different applications. But there is no centralized control, no printer server here. I didn't put any a common printer server for everyone. I didn't put any a common file server for everyone. I didn't put any specific server here. So simple it is, devices are connected, so they can able to share information, they can able to share in resources, they can able to communicate. Okay. So this is called a peer-to-peer. All our work group is individual, and everybody user's account is stored in their PCs only. Okay. So that is peer-to-peer. Peer-to-peer means it's a kind of work group model. I will explain what is work group. Okay. It is a kind of work group model, can share information, data, resources between two or more systems without centralization. No specific central control is not there. Okay. So in this one, in this peer-to-peer, in that particular instance, a device is act like a server, other device act like a client because it is providing a data sharing. It is accessing who is providing and who is accessing. So based on this is become a server, this is a client in this particular instance only. Not always. Okay, not always. So there is no specific server, no specific client kind of stuff. Okay, in the particular instance, the system act like a server, others act like a client. Another model is server and client model. Yes, understand peer to peer.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's very simple. You have a network, you have a devices, you are connected in the network, so you can share it information. You can mutually communicate, but not through any centralized system. But sometimes it is not like that. It is difficult. For example, this system having a data and these people required to access the data. And 4 members, 3 members, 10 members is very easy. Think like this, your organization is very bigger one. 100 members of users, 100 of the devices need to access same data, same system, same data, or maybe the huge amount of data. It's difficult to access, right? And there is a securities. Not everyone is allowed to access. But in this one, if you say access to everyone, so there is no restriction. You cannot control who can able to access, who cannot able to access. Okay, who can able to access, who cannot able to access. You cannot control. And huge number of people are there, huge devices, huge requirement to access. So normal our work group systems cannot handle. So what we need a solution is a centralized part. Simple. There is a centralized thing. It's called a server, which you provide a service, different type of services for a client. So here, for example, this is a, as I said, like a data sharing, this is my file server. It is a file server. It is a permanent file server. Not in this particular instance, always. And it contains a data. This data is required to access by different users. So they will ask, I want this particular access. It will verify this particular user can able to access or not. Okay. So everybody will access from here on. So it is not required in the particular instance or kind of stuff. And the capacity of server is always higher than R. Okay. So from one single point, you put all the data so we can able to access. Okay, that's one example. Another example, websites. That is the best example. Easy example is website. So you access a website from the web server. So one web server, so multiple people can able to access. Mail server. There is a mail server. So one mail server, multiple members can able to exchange the mails. So everything goes through this server only, not as an individual. From here to here, I want to send a mail. I cannot send because there is not a proper control. I want to send mail from here to here. It's not a controller. I want to send a mail from here to here. Okay, no proper control here. But I will send a mail from here to here. Okay, I will send and receive mails from here. So one centralized location, it manages all your mails. Simple times only. What is a server? Server provides services. Client accesses the services. Example, web server. Web server is a server. It has a web pages we can able to access through web services. You're a client using the web browser, access the web pages from web server. Client request for a service to server, server send response to the client. Client request for a service. Actually, guys, what I said, first statement and the last statement. See the first statement and the last statement. What is the first statement? As I said, server provide a service and client access the service. Okay. And second statement is, it's not that one. Second statement is exact statement of client and server. Any server, any client. Whatever the server it is, whatever the client it is, it works like this only. This is the formula. Client will send request to the server. I want this particular thing. So it send a request to the server. Server will respond to the client. If client not request anything to the server, server won't give you anything. Okay, understand? So you have to send a request. Then only you will receive a thing from the server. Whatever it is, it can be a DHCP server or DNS server or web server, or mail server, or it can be some authentication server. Maybe it is NTP server. Okay. So whatsoever it is, client send a request and server give a response. So this is thing. Server provides services. What is a server? It provides certain type of services. That's it. So you need to access the service. You have to send a request to the server. Server send a response to the client. Guys, understand the statement?
Yes, sir.
Very
Could you repeat again, bro?
This is Gmail account, right? My Gmail.
Yes, sir.
This is YouTube. This is Google Docs, right? Is Google Docs is giving directly to me or I am requesting it? I opened
More
it or it is
request.
automatically came, right?
Yes, sir.
Like that. Yeah, simple terms. So how server will understand what is your request? You have to ask a server, I want this. How you will ask, how it will understand what you are asking? By protocols, right? We discussed about the protocols, right? In the networking class, different protocols. HTTP,
Of
HTTPS.
three. Yeah,
Yeah,
of three
of
DHCP.
three,
Yes.
right? This is a web related communication. This is mail related communication. These are all remote access related communication. Okay. So like this is time synchronization related. This is monitoring related. Okay. Different servers, different type of communication. How it will understand by protocol. Next, a server called a particular server based on the service it is providing. I call this is the web server. Means it provide a web service. It is a mail server. I call that a specific server as a mail server. How can I call it? Because it provide mail services. It is a time server. It provide a time related services, time synchronization related. Okay. So how to make a server? How to become a machine, become a server? There is a machine. I kept install one machine. I have a machine. There is a machine. And in this one, I have a server operating system. So already I installed server OS, or maybe it is some OS is there. So how it is becoming a specific server? It can be a Windows server installation or it can be a Linux server it is. Okay. But it has to provide a service, then only I will call that one as a specific service. Okay. So either it can be a Windows server or it can be a Linux server. So what is the purpose of this? Nothing until unless it provide a specific type of service. How it is? Either by installing built-in roles or features. Install some roles and features which is inside of that server operating system and configuring it, or by installing some application or packages and configure as a specific server. Okay. So for example, I installed Microsoft IIS role. Then it is become a web server. And maybe I installed in a Linux system, I installed Apache HTTPD, or I installed NGINX. So this is also become a web server. Or maybe I install a Tomcat server. Okay. Maybe I install a MS Exchange. Then it is become a mail server. Okay. So depends upon the way you configure, or you install a particular roles inside, or by installing some packages inside, a server become a specific type of server. So how a server become a particular server? By installing, configuring built-in features or roles and our applications or packages by things. Okay. So here it is. I given an explanation here. The server based on the services, different servers and how it is their protocols. Some places I put a application also. Web server, file server, DHCP server, DNS server, domain controllers like authentication servers. WDS is a deployment servers, mail servers, VPN servers, storage servers, database servers, virtualization servers, like these different servers I mentioned because then the what service they are providing. What is web server provide? Web services with the understanding of request and response by protocol, HTTP protocol, HTTPS protocol. So not small s, it is should be capital S because secure. SSL. How a machine become a web server by installing certain packages or roles like a HTTPD, Tomcat, Glassfish kind of stuff. Tell me.
Can we say, sir, server as a OS? Can we call like that? The server is OS. When they ask, we can say server is OS or server is
No,
different.
server is not OS.
Okay.
Okay, there is a server OS are there. Windows server OS, Linux server OS. Linux OS is a automatically server OS only. Means what is the server OS? I think I told in the server point. Okay, desktop OS and server OS. What is the difference? This is a desktop. I can't make this one as a server. I can make it a server, but the little difference is a server OS contains built-in certain features or roles. If you are enabling and configure it, it become a specific server. Okay.
Yes,
If
sir.
you want to install, for example, you want to install MX Exchange application, you can install only in a Windows Server operating system only. Okay. So, for example, you install a Zimbra application or this Apache HTTPD. You want to install, you can only install in a built-in, only install in a Linux operating system only. Then it become a specific server. So Zimbra also it make it as a mail server. You have to configure it as properly, like how the communication rules, regulations, and you have to do it. Okay. So point is this MS IA, you can see this is a role which is inside a Windows server. This ADDS is a built inside of Windows server. This is a packages by installing this NFS package or CFS package, the Linux become a particular server. This is also role. This is also role in a Windows server. These are applications. These are all applications. This is an application. This is an application. Okay, this is an application. So you install some application or maybe your configure built-in roles or features, it can able to provide a specific service. So then we call that one as a specific type of server. So server operating system, so we can able to install a server related applications and it is also having a built-in roles. Okay. Yeah,
Yes, sir. Understood.
understand. File server. So file server by protocol FTP, VSFTP, FTP kind of stuff. DHCP server, you know already, dynamic host configuration protocol. So it is provide an IP address to the client system or assign an IP address to the client system. Anyway, I will tell the DHCP and DNS. This is authentication. So user authentication will done by the Active Directory kind of stuff. This is WDS, guys, because these three things anyway I will explain separately. WDS, when in a Hyderabad office just before last month only, we need a 10-20 systems to be installed operating system. So we didn't find a pen drive also, but so we need to install. With one pen drive or CD, it is difficult to install 10-20 systems, that to lesser time within a 1 day because it take times. So what we done, we take a server, we configure these WDS services in the server, and we start deploying OS from WDS server. What is deployment server? What is this WDS server? In the network, I can install different types of, I can install operating system. Means I have a 10 computers, 20 computers, 30 computers. Through network, I can install OS. So I don't require any CD or pen drive to install OS into the devices. I can install OS from my WDS service. Okay. Through network, I can able to install. Mail
How
server
many
already.
computers?
Yeah, tell me.
Is there any limit to for downloading OS, sir? How many OS can be installed like WD from WDS servers?
Almost all any new OS which is having a boot at Vim and all. So any Windows operating system. This is related to Windows WDS. Linux is separate. Linux deployment servers are different. Okay. It is not how many. It depends upon your network strength,
Okay, sir.
how many devices you can able to install, because everything goes through the network. So you are having a, 1 Gbps connection, 2 Gbps connection, like that. More thing is there, big RAM, big processing, then you can tap capacity increases, depends upon the server, depends upon your network. Okay. Number of voices from as you know, from Windows Vista 7 onwards, you can install all the type of operating, both desktop based and server operating systems you can install. Windows Vista 2008 server onwards, you can install through WDS. In older operating system also you can install, but that's a different process.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Very good. So VPN servers, VPN server. So I want to do some work from home. What I will do, I'll ask work from home. So my infrastructure, my servers, my data is in the my corporate office. So main head office having and everything. So if I'm there, I can able to connect and work directly within the organization network. But I'm outside of organization network, so I'm in the public network. So how to connect my private network? Directly if you connect, it is compromised. So I will do with the VPN. So VPN server provide a VPN services. Generally, we configure VPN in the firewalls. Of course, for Windows Server also you can configure it as a VPN server. Storage server. What is a storage server? Different storage servers are there. Like as I said earlier, I have a file storage server is there. From one server, I can able to I store data here for a different organization, different project files. People are will access directly from a file server. Okay, so there it is NFS, NAS type of storage servers are there, SAN type of storages with the different protocols we use to access the storage. Database server, so you store a data, so you have an application related data, and maybe your employee data or students data, we store in databases, right? So you want to create a database server, take a machine and then install a Oracle database application or MS SQL application or MySQL application, then it is become a database server. Okay. And all these things we are going to install or configure the packages or applications in a server operating system. But this one is different. Virtualization servers are generally the hypervisor voices you are getting. Their direct hypervisor OS kind of stuff will come. So these things will directly can install into a bare metal machine. Means you take a machine and you can install directly, not in the operating system. You can directly install in the. What is this purpose? Virtualization servers. Okay, it's not, I'm not teaching any virtualization concept, guys. Just to understand what is this server virtualization. This is centralized machine. This is my centralized machine, and these are different desktops. So I need to work on a Linux. I have some Linux related project. I need a machine. Linux machine is required. So I'm sitting here in this machine. I have Windows 10. I need a Linux machine. So you ask your administrator, he'll create a one Linux server in the server room and he'll give a remote access. Okay. So to make it instead of this is again physical hardware is required for creating this Linux machine. And another person is also required some Windows related server operating system. Some other person is required another Linux machine. So what in an organization we are doing, we'll keep on adding the physical servers for different purposes, different projects, okay, different clients, we are doing it. We are keep on adding physical server. So it is become a cost increases, size of the server room, that server size also increases, power supply increases, right? Utility become lesser. Utilization is become simple lesser. So what they will do, so simply they are moving all these things into a, a centralized machine. They're simply moving these machines. Instead of buying a physical hardware, they create a virtual machines in a centralized machine. So this is virtualization server. So we create a virtual machines and we install whatever the operating system inside of these virtual machines. So they will give an access to this to the people who are working on that machine. So no need of buying a more hardware, no need of buying a more hardware, no need of providing some separate network, separate power supplies, separate fan assemblies, cooling systems not required here. Simply buy one big machine and install a hypervisor and you can create a virtual machines. So simple to in single word, I am not going to depth of that one. Virtualization. Yeah. So it's so possible, guys. I will try for a virtualization. I'll teach next class. Means next time. So when we have a time for virtualization. Okay. Guys, understand up to here what are the different servers based on the service it is providing. Not only this, there are so many are there.
Or like service like service request, do we have server request?
No, we can say like that also sometimes.
Okay. Okay.
I am requesting to a service or a requesting to server. Actually, a requesting to server. Okay, based on what service it is providing. I'm requesting to web server. What web server is doing? Web service is doing, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Okay, so of course, as you asked, that is one more good question. That is server OS and server. What is the difference? What is this server OS and what is the service kind of stuff? Okay, a specific type of server, but commonly server operating systems are common. Whatever the service it is providing, the commonly there is a different server operating system. Okay, maybe a web server can be the server OS can be Windows or maybe it is Linux or Unix. Okay, so different base platform, base operating systems are there. So in from Windows, Windows Server operating systems from Microsoft, Windows Server operating system, it is started from, as I know, from NT 2000, 2003, 2008 to 8 or 2, 12, 12 or 2, 16, 20, 19 and 2022. The new one is comes in maybe in next year it will release in a 2025. The next version is 2025. Okay. Next one is Linux-based operating system. Almost all enterprise Linuxes, EL enterprise Linuxes are is belongs to that one only. So all enterprise Linuxes, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, CentOS, Fedora, Debian, all these things are used as a server operating system, a Linux-based operating system. Even Ubuntu server operating system is also there. Okay, Unix based server operating systems and IBM based server operating systems also there. And as separately written, these are not operating system, these are hypervisors, but like a operating system we install into a bare metal machine. So that is Microsoft Hyper-V server. VMware is an organization. vSphere, we install vSphere or ESXi. Xen servers, Proxmox. Okay, so these are all virtualization server related um, platforms. So that's why written separately because it's not OS, because OS will provide a different type of services. Okay, desktop services, command line services, or application support related services. You can install applications in a server operating system, but these things you can't install anything. Okay, that's the point. Yeah, so don't confuse. Server hardwares, guys. Normally we use i7, i5, i9 kind of processors thing, right? But really in a server hardware based on internal hardware, it is different from our regular desktops because desktops and laptops we run for 8 hours, 12 hours, that's it, not more than that one, right? We don't use any desktop or laptops for 24 hours. Even though you provide a very good environment, we don't run it because the capacity of our systems are limited. Okay, but servers has to be run 24 by 7. You have a Gmail server, Yahoo server, okay, YouTube server, whatsoever it is has to be run for 24 by 7. The capacity, the processing, number of requests. One server receive a multiple requests from the different clients, right? Multiple requests. So it has to be processed all the requests. The capacity of processor, capacity of RAM, capacity of disk must be much higher. And the storage is compulsory required higher storages. So what they do, so there is a different type of this is Xenon processor for usually suitable for server purpose. Okay, so that is hardware part. Okay, here it is also by looking at there is a different physical appearance servers are there. Tower server, rack server, and blade servers. Tower servers are used for a small business entities. Okay, this is a tower. Okay, this is a tower server. So the cost of tower server, one single server, is simply it is showing 33 lakhs 48,000, and this is 1 lakh 78,000. This is 81,000. I think it is good. 2 lakhs depends upon what server it is. It shows. So it has a internal capacity. See, it is a server. It contains built-in features, chassis, 6 Xenon processor, 243. So you going to go and increase the server processor model, the cost will be there. So this is 4 core 8 threads, 6 core 12 threads, 6 core 8 threads, 8 core 16 threads, 8 core 16 threads. Cache memories, processor wattage consumption, suitable RAM capacities, DDR5. Okay, so other things. It comes with this particular server comes with a 32 GB RAM. If you want more, then you can also increase the RAM size. And RAID built-in RAID controllers are there. Okay, you can see those in SSDs, BIOS, energy, jumper cards, uh, um, OSs. What OS you will get it? A standard 2022 standard you are getting. That is waste. You have to buy a data center, but it is costly. Standard supporting 16 core license, up to 16 core license you are getting. Okay. So you want additional features, then you can select. Then finally you will get the price here. Okay. Okay. Finally, you'll get a one price here. So different servers. So you take this one. This is a little lesser cost, right? So the built-in the additional things will comes lesser. So it is 16 GB RAM. Okay. This is 4 core 4 thread processor. Earlier we seen 4 core 8 thread processor. Like that. Capacity of internal processor is different. I put a servers and see this is rack server. So rack server is look like this one. Don't see the cast, but the way it is look and the way it is, we can insert. So internal part. So go to the rack server into the Google. So just images is enough. See is inserting a rack. The rack is look like this one. One rack, one server model it is. It means this is completely one server. Means it contains processors, RAMs, SSDs, and additional SCSI storages, write controllers. Everything is there in the rack. He is inserting a blade in a rack. Okay, this is a blade servers. Each blade again, each blade is a server. It contains processor, RAM, and SSD. The storage capacity of this network connectivity is this simple data center empty rack it is. It's a data center with different racks with the different servers and network configurations. That's it. So this is a blade server means this is one simple big rack kind of stuff. It contains multiple blades. So almost all 8 to 16 blades we can able to insert in this particular thing. This is a simple one single rack. Okay. So I'm not going depth of it, but it is three different tower server, rack server, and blade server. And this is the difference between blade, rack, and tower servers. So where we use the tower server, mainly small organization, a simple data center. I need 3, 4 servers for my organization. For that is enough. It's my small organization. That is enough for me. Okay, 3-4 servers are required for a different services. Then that's it. But my organization is bigger, more servers are required, and for backup servers, and of course, a different type of services purposes, I need more servers. Then I will go for a blade and rack services. Why? Because of it reduces the space, it reduces the cabling kind of stuff. The cost optimization is also better if you are going for a blade and rack servers. That's the point. Guys, understand up to here? Different servers, services,
Yes, sir.
okay, and
Yes, sir.
hardware part. Okay. Here it is the last part I'm trying to say. Then we'll take a break of this one. Okay. So what is a data center? Just we have seen some data centers here. Okay. So we have different data centers here. So what is this data centers contains? It contains blades or it contains rack servers inside and storage devices like a iSCSI storage boxes, NAS boxes, okay, SAN boxes, routers, switches, fiber optical connections. These are all in the data center. One data center means it depends upon, like I'm not going with what is a data center types, but just to understand what is a data center means, simple it contains your server. It can be a database server, it can be a authentication server, it can be a web servers, it can be storage servers. Okay, it contains blades or it contains a rack servers inside. It contains switches, routers, and fiber optical type of connectivities, UTP, STP type of connectivities. Storage servers are there. SAN type of storages, NAS type of storages contents are there. Different storage things are there. So that is what I am trying to say is about a data center. Softwares, different softwares are running inside your server, right? Servers, storages, network, your infrastructure, your cooling system, backup, power supplies, and cabling. These are all combined in a data center. Single or a multiple kind of stuff. Some places only like this. Some places it contains more data. Okay. This is single data center. Some are combined. This is front and back of a data center. Of course, data center technology is different. Yeah, here it is. See, these are all one rack. These are all SCSI storages. So he can able to open and insert a disk. It is inserting a disk inside that rack. Okay. I think this is giving so many names. Dell cabinet, HP cabinet, OpenStack mass. So giving marking on each server and their purposes. Fiber optical SAN switches here. Okay. RAID 6, 10 terabytes, RAID 6, iSCSI NAS is here. Okay. 4.3 terabytes of fiber channel SAN is here. Okay. We will steal this photo. Any for any references in future. Okay. This is better. Understand. Okay. So the servers like a rack servers, blade servers kind of stuff is there, network routers, switches, fiber optical cables. Okay, so different names like firewalls, everything is there. Storages. Okay, SCSI disk, SAS type of disk, SATA type of disk, iSCSI, some different name. Applications means softwares. There's separate cooling systems inside and power supply is there. And there is a one more specific role. If you got this one, also do not ignore that is called a data center monitoring. What is meant by data center monitoring? You have a data center means you have a lot of servers inside, a lot of storage devices are there, network devices are there, network connectivities are there. Okay, so you have to monitor each and everything through the monitoring tools. Is all servers are running up and running or not? What is the performance of each servers, each application in the server, each network device in the server, each storage devices in there? What is the status of the storage devices? So you have to monitor using some monitoring tools. So that's what I try to say. So guys, this is what we discuss about peer-to-peer, peer-to-peer server and client. What server will do, what client will do. Server, client request for a service to the server, server send a response to the client. What is a server do? Provide a service. Different type of servers provide different type of services. Okay, that's what I try to say. Next one is after the small break, we will going to discuss about what is work group, what is a domain, and explanation about those things, and as well as what is an active directory. Okay. Take a break, guys. 15 minutes. Be back at 12 o'clock.